The sheriff's deputy who confronted a suspected killer on the run took the stand today in the murder trial of Brandon Scott. TV20's Nico Clement tells us a crucial bit of testimony was what the deputy observed on both Scott and the murder weapon.
Deputy Thomas Thusen was working the night shift on January 13, 2013, when he was called out to the area near Tim Robinson's home in Archer to secure the perimeter. Brandon Scott was still on the run when hours later, Thusen found himself face-to-face with Robinson's killer.
We were looking for a subject by the name of Brandon Scott.
After Timothy Robinson was shot, he ran out of his home, soon being followed by Brandon Scott. Robinson's body was found just yards away in a field. The next person to locate was Scott.
I challenged him, had him approach my vehicle. I asked him his name. He told me his name was Brandon Scott. I confirmed on the radio that was the subject we were looking for. The whole time I had him at gunpoint. And then once we confirmed that he was who we were looking for, another unit arrived to back me up, and at that time we placed him in handcuffs.
Deputies say Scott was dirty, sandy, and had scratches on his arms and legs from what appeared to be from a field adjacent to the residence. One deputy say the dirt looked like sugar sand. Crime scene investigator James Abdale was on scene to take photos and collect evidence in the area. One piece of evidence he found, the AR-15 rifle used in the shooting.
What color is this sand that we're seeing on this rifle?
It's a kind of a very light brown, grayish type.
Okay, is this consistent with the sand you might find out in these fields here in Calpasture, Florida?
Yes.
Sometimes we call that sugar sand. Is that?
It appears similar, yes.
Okay, so on the rifle you found as you uncovered it was covered in sugar sand.
It appeared to be, yes.
Detectives told prosecutors that days after the shooting, photo lineups were administered to Boykin, Howard, Thomas, and Newton. They had no problem identifying who had shot them.
Did he say anything to you about who he was identifying?
He just pointed, he said, "That's him," without hesitation.
The defense says that nobody tested for gunshot residue on Robinson or Scott, indicating that detectives had no idea if a gun was fired or not.
You attended the autopsy of Timothy Robinson.
Correct.
Did anyone, to your knowledge, ask to do a gunshot residue test on the decedent, Timothy Robinson?
I'm not sure. I wasn't part of that if they did.
You didn't request one, though, did you?
I did not know.
As far as you know, no one did a gunshot residue test, did they?
I don't have knowledge whether they did or didn't.
Prosecutors hope to reach a closing argument and have the jury deliberate on Friday. Nico Clements, TV20 News.